I'm really extremely happy to be speaking with you.
Yes. Well, I'm happy you're having me on. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. You know what? I got a story actually to even start this interview. When we were back, it was back like early high school days, and down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, they had a place that did videos, and you could go in there and you could do like a like a rendition of your favorite song, and they videotaped it and then gave it to you. And
I remember those I remember those kind of places. Yeah, they were kind of fun to do, actually.
those were cool. I wish they would do them again. But I had some of my best friends in high school did turn up the radio, and I thought it was pretty cool too, because that was kind of like the years when you first started hearing you guys, and that's when it came out, and it's awesome song, and we've been fans ever since.
Very cool. Very cool.
Well, how did
You guys are up there in Pittsburgh, huh?
we up in Pittsburgh, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yep. We played a place called the Altar Bar a couple of years ago.
Right.
Yeah, it's no longer there now. It's still there, but it's not the altar bar anymore. It's back to a church.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's back to a church again? Okay.
Again.
Right. Oh.
They went from bar to church to bar and then church again. I think it changed like multiple times too.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
That is just crazy. Hey Steve, what I wanted to start with is how did you guys get started? Like, how did the band Autograph form?
We got together in '83. All of us were playing in different projects at the time. Bass player was playing with Rita Ford, and singer was playing with Silver Condor on Columbia. The drummer was playing with a group called The Coup on A&M Records, and me and the keyboard player Steve Isham were playing on Dreamland Records with a girl named Holly Penfield. And we got together with Andy Johns from back in the him and Glenn, his brother, were famous back in the 70s and the 80s for working with Led Zeppelin and John Lennon and all that. And Andy asked us to go into the studio and cut a demo. He liked our music, and so we did that. And then that tape made it into Dave Lee Roth's hands through Kenny Richards, our drummer. They were getting together every morning and jogging. And so anyway, what happened was next thing you know is we're on tour with Van Halen. They loved the music, and so we went out and toured with them, and then we got approached by different companies like Warner and Epic, and then RCA offered us a great deal that we couldn't refuse, so we did a 3-album deal with RCA. That's how it all got started.
That's pretty cool. I mean, you guys, what I liked about you guys is you were doing, something a little bit different. I mean, the quality of the songs and everything, back then when, Oh, go ahead.
We took a lot of time writing. All of us were writers, but we took a lot of time writing each one of the songs. Like for every, 5 songs we wrote, we'd only keep like 1 or 2 of them, and basically put the others on a back burner, And so we were kind of really picky about which songs went on the first album, and we were like that with the second album and the third album as well. So. We were writing constantly and doing stuff for movies, and we ended up doing 5 movies and then a couple, episodes of Miami Vice and stuff back then, and so we did quite a bit of stuff, television and soundtrack stuff.
That was cool. That had to really get the the word out for you guys, and really get you get your blood pumping to even produce more. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We got a new album now that we just completed, and that's going to be coming out within the next couple of months. We actually are signing a deal with Japan right now, and then we're going to be doing the American and then the European deal as well.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, that's what we're doing now. And the new album's called "Get Off Your Ass."
Oh, that's nice. That's perfect, man.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
Yeah, so that's the title song off the album as well. So, yeah, but we'll go ahead and stir everybody up with that title.
That's awesome. We love to hear it, man. Love to hear it.
Yeah,
hey,
absolutely.
Your style as a guitarist too, I always liked. I mean, you did the a lot of the cool tap techniques and everything, and it was cool. It was a little different. I mean, there wasn't a lot of guys doing much of that back then, and you were the one that really stood out to me.
Well, it was, I was influenced by Harvey Mandel. He was doing some of that stuff back in the early 70s. And so I started playing around with it a little bit. And there was a guy in Seattle where I was living at the time, Steve Buffington, and he was doing it. And he showed me a few things. So I kind of got into it. And then when I went to the Guitar Institute of Technology in March of 78, there was a guy named Emmett Chapman who invented the Chapman stick that you play with both hands.
Okay.
And he did a clinic at the school right in the first few months of when I was going there. And it was incredible what he was doing on two hands on this instrument. And he mentioned in the clinic that he used to just play guitar, but he got so far with that technique that it became, something where he had to make an instrument to really accompany him well on it. And so I asked him about that after the clinic, and I said, what were you doing on guitar, and he says, well, can I see your guitar for a second? And so I handed him my guitar, and he showed me this pentatonic run, and then he did it with both hands, and I just went, God, that is so cool. And so I started writing down everything that I was learning at the Guitar Institute, like the pentatonic scale, the arpeggios, all the triads, all the major and minor scales, everything that I could possibly think of. And I started writing them down two-handed. And by the end of the year, I had this huge stack of papers for writing all this stuff down two-handed, and I made it into a book. And Howard Roberts, the creator of the school, asked me to meet with his publisher, for his books, and I said, absolutely. So I went and did the meeting, and the publisher of his book signed me up right away, and so I released that in 1979, and it became a really bestseller. And so then I wrote two more books and was later picked up by Baldwin Mills and then Warner Brothers Publications later on. So I had 3 books out on it. So it ended up being really cool. Then I did a video tape on it too, instructional videos. So I decided I'm going to show everybody how to do this because it's cool.
Did you, after you brought out, the books and the, and the classes and everything, did you see a lot of people, jumping on board to check that out?
Oh yeah. That book sold so much that, even when I'm out touring now, people are still bringing, that first book and then the second 2 books too. They come out and have me sign them, I'm going, wow, you still have this? It had a floppy disk on the inside. This is like, not cassette, not 8-track tape or anything. It was a floppy disk inside. And,
I remember those.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I signed it for them. I thought it was really cool piece of them, actually.
That's really cool. I remember, back in the day, coming back and the song that always stands out to me is "Blondes in Black Cars." That's probably still one of my favorite tunes. And when they play that on Sirius, it's just unbelievable.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, it's still, one of those songs that goes over really well live. So a lot of the old material and throw a few of the new ones in there as well. And but that song really stands out. I mean, it was just one of those things where we were in the tour bus at the time, and our first album was already out, and for the radio, it was already a pretty big hit. And Kenny, the drummer, looked out the window, and there was these 2 blondes in a black car. We're leaving L.A., and there's 2 gorgeous blondes in this black convertible. And Kenny looks at those blondes in that black car and just went, wow, what a great name for a song, Blondes in Black Cars. And so, boom,
cool.
We just started writing the lyrics right there.
That's cool, because that's a song that just transcends. I mean, it transcends generations. I mean, I still, today, every time I hear that one, I just crank it. I mean, because it's a fun song. It really is. It's awesome. Like I said,
we try to think towards that, everything being more fun. We didn't really take ourselves really seriously. Like the song "My Girlfriend's Boyfriend Isn't Me," that one always went over well. And then we had another one where the title was "She Never That Good for Me," which actually made it the like double on with Dudley and Kirk Cameron, and that was really cool doing that one as well, because we recorded that live, the video for that live, She Never Looked That Good for Arena.
Right.
And we did that right. Then the next day we were on tour with Motley Crue after we filmed that. And so that was a lot of fun.
That's a big kick right there. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we got some good tours back in the day, and it was just, man, we were kicking it. We were just having a gas.
And you just brought up, She Never Looked That Good for Me, and that album, right there, I'm actually looking at it right now, too. It's one of my favorites, Loud and Clear. And you, and so many songs on that. I mean, how did, from when you guys started, like from the Sign In, Please Release, and, going all the way through, and you hit that Loud and Clear right there, it sounded like, the band just progressed and got so much tighter year after year, between the three albums. It was incredible.
That's what kind of happened, and that third album ended up having Andy Johns, who produced our first demo that we did. He ended up producing that third album. The reason why it took that long was busy doing all these other things at the time. But he was free when we were starting recording on the third album, Loud and Clear. And so we got together with him, and that album, actually the sound quality on it, I think is the best out of the three, because Andy's he passed away a couple of years ago, unfortunately, but he was just an incredible producer and engineer, and his mixing was just, unsurpassed by anybody as far as I'm concerned.
I agree. I mean, the quality of the album is great, and and I look at the back here and all the songs, and More Than a Million Times is probably one of my favorite songs. It really is incredible.
Yeah, I listened to the production on that, the keyboards and the intro and everything, and I go, man, this is a good song. Sometimes years go by and I don't listen to the old stuff, and then I'll listen to it again, sometime, or somebody will send it to me or post it on Facebook or something, and I'll click onto it and listen to it, and I go, yeah, this song was really good.
Right.
So, you kind of forget about them, They kind of go by the wayside, and you go, God, actually.
Right. As the years go on, that's the way it is.
Unfortunately, what happened with us was, like on the second album, it's when RCA had all this personnel change, because Bob Summers, the original, guy that was running RCA, he passed away, and then they got in another guy, Bob Luciak, and he started running it. But it was like our album didn't get much promotion. Either did Kenny Rogers or the Pointer Sisters or the Eurythmics or Mr. Mister. All of their second albums kind of didn't get any, or their albums that were released at the same time as our second album didn't get much promotion. And that was just unfortunate, because they were going through personnel changes in New York and the LA offices for RCA. And it's just unfortunate that happened, but, that happens. It's like.
Yeah, that's the way it seems like it's, especially right at that time, too. I mean, right when the late 80s and 90s started to kick in. It seemed like...
Right.
And it's a shame, too.
87, that one came out, in 1980s. Yeah, I think...
Right.
Yeah, March or April, something like that, in 87.
So that's, some of the, things that happen, to a lot of the bands,
Oh, yeah.
That
happens.
It really is a shame.
Kind of get lost in the shuffle, yeah. It's very unfortunate, but it does happen.
Now, how about, I know one of the other ones, that I wanted to bring up is, like the new material that, that you guys are doing. How does everything, come off live for you? Because I haven't had a chance to see you, recently. And, I'm just curious.
We're going to be playing live in Pennsylvania again. I'm not sure how close it is to Pittsburgh. I'll have to look at the itinerary again, but I know we're playing again in Pittsburgh. What you can do is you can always go to autographband.com.
Okay.
And then just push on the tour dates, and it shows all of our shows that are coming up, and there's always ones being added onto it. Or you can look up Autograph on Facebook too, and see the dates there. It's the same site. They're all connected. So, but yeah, that way everybody can check out, where we're going to be playing, what the dates are, and everything.
Yeah, because I definitely want to see you guys. I mean, like I said, it's been a while, and that Altar Bar show, we didn't have a chance to come out that night. And
oh, really?
I've been waiting for for a while, to get a chance to see you guys out there. So how about?
Yeah, absolutely, we're looking forward to coming back. Absolutely.
How about a little bit about the like the new album? I mean, like sound wise and everything. You guys, is this something you're going to stick with the original formula? Is there some surprises out there on it?
Well, yeah, it's a little bit more raw sounding. There's a little bit heavier. We're tuned down a whole step now, and so everything's a little bit fatter.
Right.
It's the same songwriting formula that really has catchy choruses. And of course, we got the new singer, Simon Daniels, originally from Brazil, and then we have a new drummer in Switzerland. They both lived in LA for the last couple of decades, but it just kind of ended up with kind of an international band now,
right.
With different members in it, one from Switzerland, one from Brazil. But Mark, the drummer, he's a real heavy drummer, and Simon's more of a bluesy type singer, but it came across really well. I really like the mixture of it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing the new material. Everything you guys put out is good. I mean, there's no
Good, thank you.
No filler.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it, because that's what we look at it. We like to keep on putting out quality, and I think we got a winner coming out.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it. I really cannot wait to hear it. How about you as a as a songwriter, Steve? I mean, what's some of the things you look for nowadays? Is you taking on more of the songwriting now, or is it more music wise for you?
We kind of all did this together. Of course, the singer came up with some of the ideas. I would come up with some of the ideas initially, and then say, hey, here's this title, here's some lyrics, let's go to work on this, let's put it in this key, and I give him some guitar ideas over the phone, because I was living in Seattle at the time, and he was living in LA, and now I just moved to Tampa last July, so now I'm a Florida boy.
Okay.
And I'm loving the weather down here, I'll tell you that much right now. And,
absolutely.
So we kind of did a lot of the stuff over the phone, and I'm also writing stuff for another solo album. I had an album that I put out in 2004,
right?
Called it's under my name. It's called Network 23 by Steve Lynch, and so now I'm looking at putting out another solo album, because I also have a tendency to write a little bit more ethereal, like esoteric, more like kind of like Pink Floyd, Moody Blues kind of stuff, where it's a bit more out there.
Right.
I'm influenced a little bit now by a group called Porcupine Tree. They're out of London, and a lot of people don't know who they are. They're not commercially popular, but they're
right.
huge.
Right.
Yeah, Porcupine Tree. Yeah.
They're pretty cool. They're different sound. Yeah. That's cool music. I like those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephen Wilson does all the stuff on that, and he has other projects like Blackfield and Stephen Wilson Band and stuff, and I just think he's a brilliant writer, and so I listen to them a lot.
That's cool to to be influenced. I can imagine some of the things that you guys that you see out there, and being a guitarist, just trying to expand in your the things that you do, your musicianship and technique and things.
Right. Well, that's what I try to do is not just the autograph thing. We've only been together for about 3.5 years now. The reunion, with the other two members, and
right.
It sounds a bit different from the original autograph. They can see the elements are still there, of the songwriting. The basic elements are still there, because me and Randy have a big push on that, and so. But I like to have a little bit of a segue, where I can kind of write exactly what I want to write, and it can be more experimental, where I'm not thinking about radio play or anything like that. I'm thinking more about, just doing whatever I want to do, and I like that freedom.
Right. That's nice as a musician when you can expand, and it's nice. It's nice for for fans to actually have a chance to to hear some of you guys doing different things, to appreciate the things that influence you, and to see how you how you would do a different technique or something different than normally what you normally do with the autograph stuff. It's great to hear it.
Right, exactly. And like on my Network 23 stuff, you wouldn't really even recognize it being me if you just think of me playing with autograph, because it's a really different type of music, and it doesn't have the same sound as autograph at all. But I just took, like I said, I kind of took a segue and went off into a different direction there for a while, and was really happy with what came out.
It's good stuff, man. Definitely good stuff. Now, what's the plans? New album wise, you guys doing an extensive tour? Is it something that's going to be like, festivals and things like that in the works?
That's what we're doing right now. We're doing a lot of festivals, some state fairs, casinos. We're doing some of the larger clubs.
Cool.
And we're doing it right now. We go back out in a couple of weeks, and we hit, we hit Connecticut, and then Las Vegas, and then we hit Salt Lake City, and then we're playing Freedom Festival in Colorado, and then another place in Colorado, and then we're starting to hit some Midwest states and some Northeast states again too as well. So we're kind of scattered all over the place. We just did at the beginning of the year. Let's see, it was in March. We went over to the UK and Germany and did some shows over there, and that went over really well. They really liked us over there.
See, that's cool. I mean, it seems like the European fans are still huge over there. It seems like
they really are.
Right.
And we never got a chance to play back in Europe back in the 80s. So us to be playing there now and playing some of the old songs, some of the new, then it just went over really, really well. I was really happy with the audience response. It was very cool.
See, that's great too. That's great to hear. That is great to hear. And we've been hearing a lot about from a lot of the guys we've been talking to, as far as how well vinyl's been selling now, especially in Europe, and how it's really kicking in.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I'm talking with the guy right now to release some of the old stuff on vinyl and to release the new on vinyl as well. And I said, let's go for it. Let's do it. So that's what we're looking at now.
That's amazing how that stuff comes around too. I mean, I never would have thought the vinyl would pick back up, but people. It's nice to see though people actually want physical product again, and I'm hoping that it's gonna come back around, because that's the way I want to hear it, and I know it's the way
Yeah, absolutely, and vinyl sounds great. It's just got that earthy, nice, round, analog sound that I love so much, and I was surprised that actually came back around too, since everything became digitalized, and I was very happy to see it come back around, and I think it's going to get more popular as time goes on.
That's what we're hoping. I'm looking forward to seeing that. How about some of the the influences for you as a guitarist? Who are some of the guys that that you say, wow, I love what he did or does, and incorporate it into your sound?
I would say my last influences were probably Al Di Meola and Alan Holsworth, and another guy that's always been an influence of mine has been Jeff Beck. So I wasn't influenced by the typical guys, that a lot of the 80s players listen to. I guess some other people like Steve Vai and I guess even Eddie Van Halen were listening to Alan Holsworth.
Right.
He was just one of those players where you just go, my God, what the hell's he doing?
Right.
Because it's so amazing, And so
right.
I was trying to figure out his stuff back in '78 when I was first going to the Guitar Institute, and it was just some stuff that I'd never heard before. He was really tough to figure out what he was even doing, and but when I was going to the school, I decided, that he was the last one I was going to listen to, because I wanted to go in the direction of creating my own style, and that's where the two-handed thing came in.
Right. And
I really got into that. So that's what created my style. And a lot of people thought that because I came out later than Eddie Van Halen that I was, kind of teetering off of him. But no, I'd actually written the book before I'd ever even heard his name. So on that technique, on the two-headed technique. So, but if you listen to it, my technique's a lot different from what he does, on it. So.
No, I agree. I agree with just from listening for for so many years, I could tell, hey, this is Steve, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. And so, people don't get us, don't really think that anymore because I've done enough interviews to let them know that I was influenced more by Harvey Mandel, Steve Buffington, and, of course, by Emmett Chapman, who did that clinic at school early on.
Right, and it's unique, too. I mean, it's definitely unique. There's not a whole lot of, a lot of guys doing, that kind of stuff. And, like I said, that always stood out to me, and I thought that was pretty cool. Right.
A lot of people were, at that time, like in the early 80s, like when Inday came out, a lot of people got into the Steve picking thing. And I'm like, that's really cool because it sounds awesome. I mean, it's really a cool technique and everything. But I never really got into that because I was more into writing solos for the song. I would actually figure out my solos for the song itself. So I didn't like to repeat myself. I like to write something fresh and new for each different song. So I'd actually, dig into my bag of tricks and find different things I could do on each different song to try to mold it into the song to make it really fit well. And, so I kind of stuck to that, and I kind of stuck to my hammer-on technique rather than going in the speed picking direction and all that.
That's cool because it fit very well with the with the songs. I mean, there's guitarists that when they play a solo or anything with the song that it's just the song's here and the guitar's here, but yours your technique and everything flowed very well. Yeah.
And that's one thing I noticed as well. I've listened to a lot of players, and some players anyway, and they just wouldn't really be paying attention to what the song was all about. It was more like, here's my time to show off, and so I'm just going to blurt out all these notes, but it didn't really fit the song that well. And then there were other people that really, really took the time to play really fine-crafted solos, and I think I was influenced a bit by David Gilmour in that way, from Pink Floyd.
Right.
Whereas you listen to the first solo and Comfortably Numb, and it's such a well laid out solo. He's playing, the solo against the triads that are going on throughout the song, the chords, he's playing triads over the top of it and everything. And then you listen to the end solo, and that's more like a bluesy jam thing that ends up being one of the best solos of all time,
Right.
And so, yeah, I can tell that he really took the time to think about most all of his solos. I can tell that he really put some time into it, and that influenced me as well.
Yeah, a lot of feeling. I mean, that's what music is. I mean, it's about feeling, and
absolutely, it's
really
about expressing your emotion. Yeah, through the instrument, and that's what it's all about. Absolutely.
Exactly. Hey, how about what I always wanted to, I like to ask, some of the guys, actually a lot of the guys that we interview is, back in the 80s, I mean, what was it like for you guys? Like, say, right in the heyday, I mean, if you were to go back, and be able to tell anybody, hey, this is what it was really like for us as, as Autograph, what would you say? I mean, what would you say was something that really stood out to you that's different nowadays than it was back then?
I would say it was just a crazy time where everybody was there was just camaraderie, back in L.A.
Right.
L.A. was just on fire with all these 80s bands, and that was a really cool experience to just be a part of that.
Right.
And, be blossoming at the same time as all these other bands were, and then to go out on tour with them and everything. And it was crazy. It was over the top partying for a while. I'll tell you that much. It was way over the top with Motley Crue. Let me tell you that much.
Right.
I quit drinking for 5 years after that tour because I didn't remember 6 months of the tour.
That's the Crew. I know that.
Yeah. But it was a special time. There's no doubt about it. It was a special time, and hopefully, people will be able to experience that again. But we're out living it again. Not any partying like we did back then, but we're still having fun.
That's cool. That's what I we've always loved about having a chance to grow up in that era and people now, like younger people that that I've talked to, I always tell them is you guys really don't know or have anything now that we can even explain how cool it was. to be a part of that.
Like you kind of said, it was about partying. It was about having a good time. Everything was really positive. You didn't hear these real depressing songs like what happened in the '90s with the whole Seattle thing happening and everything, which had its place, of course, the whole grunge thing and everything, and I understand it. But it changed in kind of it went into a darker direction. And that's what I didn't like about it. Because I grew up in Seattle, and I know the weather up there's a lot of heroin use, a lot of suicide and everything, and that's why I got out of there at a fairly young age, it ended up being, just that whole style of music that came about in the '90s. There were some good bands that came out of it. I liked some of the stuff that Linkin Park was doing and stuff. But a lot of it, the Seattle stuff was a little bit over the top. But I was just thinking the other day, when Chris Cornell passed away, I'm thinking that's 3 singers out of the top 4 bands that came out of LA, that came out of Seattle at that time, that are dead now. There's only one left alive, and that's Eddie Vedder of Pearl Jam, because Lane Staley passed away, from Alice in Chains, and and of course Kurt Cobain from Nirvana, and then Chris Cornell out of Soundgarden. I'm just going, wow, that's a trip that out of the top 4 bands that came out of there, 3 seemed dead. Right.
Right. And it's sad to to even see that happen, and especially so fast too. I mean, those guys were young.
Yeah, exactly. So Kurt Cobain was 27 and Chris Cornell was 52, and I'm not sure exactly what Lane Staley was, but he was young. He was in his 30s, I believe, and so he was pretty young, So it's a shame because they all had their moments, and they were great singers in their own right. Especially Lane Staley and Chris Cornell. I mean, they were brilliant singers. So
agreed.
Kind of unfortunate.
We talk about these different eras of music, and it kind of seemed. I mean, to me, this is just in my opinion, and after the '80s, started to end, and the grunge scene took over, it really seemed like music lost its identity as far as staying power. Like the bands kind of like ended right there, and these guys just they're not around anymore. You don't hear anything about them. I don't mean just the ones that passed away. I'm talking about like the music wise. There's really nothing that right now out there that you can even grasp onto or clench your teeth into anymore.
Right, exactly. I mean, not as far as like what there's not. I think it's kind of unfortunate that a lot of the other people, they've gone over to hip-hop and rap. That's the younger generation.
Right.
But it's just unfortunate the whole rock and roll thing has taken, backseat to everything, including country. That's extremely popular now. And the rock and roll thing, it's just, I think that's one of the reasons why the 80s bands are able to go out there and do it again. There's a lot of people that we see at the shows that we used to see at the shows back in the 80s, but now they're older, their parents, they're bringing their kids to the shows, and sometimes even their grandkids, and they're like bringing them to the shows, and the kids know the lyrics to our songs, and they're singing along with us, and I think that's really cool to see that, because their parents are showing them, like, this is what it's like back then, because this was all like sing-along, happy, songs that really make you just really glad to be listening to the music and being a part of the whole thing.
Right, you're exactly right. That's really what it was about. It was about fun. I mean, I know that anytime I'm ever down or having a bad day or anything, and I just go in and throw in my autograph CD. I know it's gonna cheer me right up, man. That's the way it was. It's awesome. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really a positive era, that whole era. I mean, even if you listen to the new wave stuff, like Duran Duran or Tears for Fears or anything like that, it's most all of it. It's all really positive stuff. Or even the Cult, the Cure. I mean, it's fun stuff, and A Minute Work. I mean, I can go on and on. Thompson Twins, everything. It was all about having a good time. Blondie.
Right.
I mean, they were all good songs. The Pretenders, everything. You know, it was all really positive and good upbeat stuff. All right.
Do you see that with especially young musicians coming up right now? How it's almost like everything is kind of like instant gratification. Like nobody wants to take the time to to really learn the instrument and really get into it. Kind of like when you guys were coming up. I mean, it took a lot of work and dedication and things like that. Are you seeing a lot of that out there like that?
Well, I see some of the young writers. There's some stations that I'll go on to that I'll just plug in, like Porcupine Tree Radio, and then all these other bands come up that are newer, and I go, God, these guys are really good, and
right.
they have some good songs. Trying to think of the Muse. I love the band Muse. They're like a 3-piece band out of London, and they just have some really cool songs. They're a bit deeper than most bands, but they have some of that energy, that energy that I like, and that in-depthness, that you can really listen to the song and you go, wow, they're really writing about something.
Right.
I hear, just that Porcupine Tree Radio, I just hear these different newer bands that are coming out, and I just go, wow, there's some really good stuff out there right now.
Right.
A lot of it's coming out of Europe, though.
You're right.
I think America's kind of starving for that right now. Right?
I totally agree. I think it's. I'm just hoping that it's going to, translate, and people are going to have a chance to hear it over here, and and start getting it back again, because we're definitely in a time where we need a change. We've been at a lull for so long that I think it's time.
There needs to be something new. There's a group like Mickey Six's new group. They have some good stuff, and there are some rock bands, but they're just not getting the right radio play. There's not enough of a market for them to get a lot of radio play now. So,
right.
It's really tough to break into any kind of mainstream market, unfortunately, because there are some good bands with some really good songs out there right now.
Right, that's what we've been hearing too. It's the bands that, in fact, I just read an article, that Yngwie even mentioned, that it's almost impossible to be, for a younger band or a younger musician to be a rock star anymore.
Absolutely, that's the point. There aren't any, real rock stars out right now. I mean, it's the pop guy, big names, that rock star type, band coming out where the songs just really grab you, and this doesn't that spark. It's more pop stars, country stars, rap artists, and artists,
right.
They're putting everything out that's getting all the radio play right now, but there's no real rock star type bands out there right now.
Totally agree. Another one I wanted to ask you is, when I see, I always have a vision, and I see the way you play, your style, and I always thought it was pretty cool. Out of everything that you've done in your career, what was a time where you said, whether it be a recording of a song or playing live, and you said, man, I really nailed this. This was like my defining moment in my career as a guitarist.
I would say most of that would be probably on my solo album, but then there's also like Turn Up the Radio, the solo Turn Up the Radio, on the second album, the solo Hammerhead, I just played a solo by myself, where it got just a lot of recognition. That kind of made me feel like, well, now people are actually starting to take notice, and I was glad to hear that my solo made it, into the number 39 slot as the best guitar solos of all time, and I was like, wow, that's really an honor having,
right.
Turn Up the Radio solo be number 49 out of the top 100. I was very pleasantly surprised by that. And so it was kind of a defining moment also, and that was just within the last year. British Magazine did about an international poll they took, and so everybody from all over wrote into this guitar magazine, and I got a call and said, hey, you made it into the 49 slot. And I went, wow, great, fantastic. And of course, at the same time, out of the top 100 songs, best songs, rock songs of all time, Turn Up the Radio made it at 93, so we came under 100. So it was good to hear as well.
That is cool. It's well deserved. It's nice to see that some of the guys like yourself are appreciated. I mean, I know there was guys that that really Eddie Van Halen's and George Lynch's the ones that always stand out. But to have you being recognized and I think it's well deserved. And I'm happy for you. But I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, I'm glad to see it too. About time, goddammit.
That's it, man.
But no, it's all good. A lot of people call me the most underrated guitar player, and I go, hey, that's better than being the most overrated guitar player.
That's awesome. That's awesome to see. How about anything? I know you're the Autograph. You got the new album coming out shortly, and I hope everybody that's listening in is looking forward to that. Get on the website, look up the the tour dates, and get out there and see these guys because they are an incredible band. If you haven't heard them, then you need to listen. You need to get in there and definitely listen to Steve. We got to give you a plug on this man because this guy's a great guitarist, a great songwriter, and he has been for so many years. And you want to listen to a cool technique, this is your man.
There you go. Perfect. And I'll play that Hammerhead solo for them if they come out as well.
There you go. That's the one they need to hear. Yeah, you're right. You're right. How about any last words, Steve? Anything that you want to get out there, to the fans that that we can help you promote and direct them to?
Absolutely. Again, the name of the new album is "Get Off Your Ass." And I think people are really, really going to like this one. It's a bit heavier than the old Autograph, but it still has that element of the sing-along choruses and everything. And
cool.
And come out and see us play live. If you want to look at where the dates are, it's autographband.com, and just click on the tool, and it'll show you all the dates. And like I said, we're adding dates onto that all the time. So it's a good thing. We're playing a lot.
That's awesome. We're looking forward to seeing you here in Pittsburgh And in closing here, I just I like to tell all the guys, and I want to tell you thanks from a fan's point of view for everything that you've done. I mean your music, and I don't know how many people ever tell you this, influenced our lives. I mean I still listen today. I still smile when I think about it. It's fantastic music, and I just want to thank you for doing what you do and getting that out there, to us as fans, to be able to appreciate it. I thank you so much for that.
Well, hey, thank you for that. That means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. That's very nice to hear. Absolutely.
So, in closing, like I said, we'll put a nice presentation together for you. The interview, we'll get it over to you. We'll spread the word.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get everybody to check the website out. Autograph.com. Check out, the tour dates coming up. Autographband.com. I apologize. Don't want to get that wrong. Autographband.com. Check out the tour dates. New album coming out here shortly. Like I said, get out there and see these guys. And Steve, we appreciate your time, man. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us. And I wish you the best, man.
Absolutely, and please come down and see us and introduce yourselves, and we'll give you backstage and meet the guys. We can do an interview with the whole band and everything if you want. And I want to let people know that when we get done playing each show that we do, we always come out and we always meet the people. We go to our merchandise booth and And we'll sign, whatever you want us to sign. If you want, we've got pictures there and stuff, and whatever you want us to sign, the tickets, cups, whatever. We do that for everybody. Every night we go out and say hi to the fans and how much we let them know how much we appreciate them coming out and seeing us.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. I mean, you guys, do it for the fans, and we really appreciate it.